something. Oop. Just got to, yesterday I noticed a little interference with the sound. And like I said, I don't really know what to do at this point as far as programming it, because every time I do something like that, I always make things worse, and just like that. I've been, I don't know, with stuff like this, I don't know, it's not that I don't have a willingness to learn, it's just, this is not really state-of-the-art kind of stuff, but, we work with it, I guess, I mean, I didn't know I'd still be doing it, at this point, really, I thought it was, all over with, even a year ago, but for some reason, I don't know, we get some play, there's always that thing, where all of a sudden, you might be, marketable again, I mean, you can't legislate love, you just can't put it into law. I mean, what I experienced, what I witnessed by doing this show, studying all, check 1, 2, studying all the people, that are trying to get all this right, and it's been very, sorry, we're going through all puddles and everything, I'm just, calculating the next bump, because you don't know what's under these puddles, and stuff like that. I don't mind going over the bumps, it's just, might make me lose my thought here. High above, West Tower, downtown Philly. But anyways, it was just this thing here. I mean, I have it all like memories. I think I was supposed to start off with, it's something unpredictable, but in the end you'll find, I hope you had the time of your life. Yes, we're going through human experiences. We're in a body, and we feel tons of emotions. I mean, our lives, depending, how old you are, things, that, you excelled, or things that you hurdled over, things you got over, I mean, in this day and age, I mean, one of those sayings is very true. I mean, everyone is battling their own kind of, things. Or maybe they're not battling it, maybe they're enjoying it. There are people that are not, following all this kind of stuff, or, or have a willingness, to change hearts and minds, of people. I mean, you look at the issues, we deal with, And like I said, I mean, I followed it, for some time. Then this character came on scene, kind of just blew up everything. Got everyone all in the frenzy, got everyone talking, got everyone, defending, all the things that they have done. A little icy. Oh, yeah. Some parts here. Okay. Wow. This is really icy, man.
Yeah, this far in, 40 years later.
So they were kind of, whoa, I gotta watch out, because someone's coming down here, and yes, this particular road is icy. I didn't think so. Like, I thought, like, down where I was coming from, it was nothing like this. But anyways, getting back to our show here, and yes, I didn't think I would, be doing it this long. Well, how is the sound now? We're 5 minutes into it, a little bit over 5 minutes. And yes, we go to lots of changes. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking about change. I mean, all through, like, music, for instance, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. There was definitely a big explosion in the 80s and 90s in changes, constant changes. Same with the 60s, 70s. But things usually happen, like, with the glam kind of thing, like, with the music there, with, like Hot for Teacher, and, We're Not Gonna Take It, or, like, you had, like, Boom 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 in the Zoom Zoom, Boom 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 in the Zoom Zoom. You had Tupac, Biggie, Notorious Biggie, and then Sean Piddity. I don't know. There's just so many. Years ago, I could never, get his name right. I just said Puff Daddy when it came out with the guy there, Jimmy Page, and I kind of dig that song, But the one song, he came out, he changed, like, because things were happening to music, stuff like that, like, you had, like, Tipper Gore saying, like, Hot for Teacher is bad, look at Teacher with the mini skirt, look at this Twisted Sister, throwing out, what I'm getting at here, like, changes, like, all of a sudden, we'll come up with something different, like, I thought, with the rap music, they thought it got a little bit, too gangster and all this kind of stuff, and we're always being legislated, like, always being legislated. But I'm just saying, like, there was like a 10-year difference, when Puff Daddy came, as, going back to Tipper Gore and, Judas Priest and all this kind of stuff, and Ozzy and, the Down Boys, where the Down Boys go, where the Down Boys go, all this Kiss, God gave rock and roll to you, rock and roll to you, put it in the soul of everyone, hey, and, this changes. I'm saying if that was bad, back then, we've gotten to a point where, like, people are just searching out their own thing. Like, when I was talking to my buddy, oh yes, and we also got to get to, I did talk to some people, on here on Facebook. I normally don't do that, because, I do, they come over my wall, I'll talk. I usually just don't go over, because, fact of the matter is, I had a stupid show like this, and, I did a whole year of crappy material, crappy, like, material, basically. But, and I know a lot of people just, they still keep you on, but they don't follow you, stuff like that. And a lot of people just get rid of you entirely, and I just, hey, that's it, you can't change that. Those are changes, I guess, changes. But do we really change? Like, and the reason why I bring that up, like an experience or an event, something that happens, especially, like, if someone is experiencing, is going through a loss, and they lost somebody, they lost someone, and I've seen a few on the feeds, but especially even this morning. A great one of my people that I like, in radio, like, he lost a friend, and talk about his vibrant spirit, and it's like, infectious, thirst or quest or drive or, like, lust for life. I mean, you have to. And I was like looking at, I was almost going to comment on some Hicks that knows, guitar player that one of the guitar players that I grew up with. They like to, like, really peel the layers, or they like to slice it really, really thin. The philosophy and all that, about life, our experiences, and then this and that, and beliefs, heaven, hell, and the devil, and everything.
One was 35 times the size of the Earth recently, and could something like that reach the Earth or come close to the Earth?
It's an asteroid.
Absolutely. What to tell?
It's not the flare is like the
we did.
big arch.
I guess an asteroid did come a little bit close.
Yes, it's coming off the surface.
And yes, there's always been all these theories. I mean, if you think about stuff like that, if you think about, when, how is it going to end, or is it not going to end, or are we going to see peace in our time? And, we have all these things, like, where, like I was saying the other day, maybe a couple of days before that, yes, we're going to find, like, certain people and make examples of them, and, that's going to change it. I was, like, listening to a little speech with April and TD Jakes. April, she's a correspondent for CNN, and she does the press conferences and all that. And, they have this one lady, she's an author of a book called History Teaches Us to Resist. And, they're talking about, like, all the, income equality, and, like, the moving, and the wall, and race, and this, and that. And, if there is a problem, I don't know, I mean, because a lot of people get in all these kinds of groups and everything, and they usually have, examples, of why they're doing it, like, why they need to keep things, afloat and keep it moving, because we're gonna get some change, especially all kinds of issues, female issues, any kind of issue, like, you gotta, like, say, well, what could we be doing other than, like, make an example of some people and stuff like that, but forgetting about everybody else, like, everybody else, like, these situations in towns and cities, I mean, do we have the best things in place for it, like, and, the thing that they're doing now is pretty good, but there's a lot of loopholes in it, like, I mean, with change comes more change, and do things really change, or they stay the same, or are we just, like, wasting time, or are we doing it for monetary reasons? Are we doing it, like, to control, like, I mean, if we really wanted to do something, I think it would be possible. I don't think we would have to wait all this time, because now, like, we're in the resisting process, and we're just gonna find that collusion pretty soon, and, do they even have anyone, like, ready? Do they have anyone ready? And what are they gonna do? Just go in there and just change things back, and then wait for, like, the next person to change it over this way and change it that way? I mean, if we, like, as a football player, like, you don't want to go to the White House. He's saying, it's just I got other things to do, like, he won't just come out and say why he really won't go. But, he's involved in criminal justice things too, like, he's passionate about it. And I don't see any reason why, Donald would not talk about this, with the football player. You know, I think it'd be as easy as just calling up, saying, hey, you know, I'm in this town. I have some issues here. And then I'll be like, all right, come on in. Oh, what was that? Like a bunny rabbit or something. A lot of bunny rabbits down here. I mean, it's like that with everything. Like, you know, I mean, CNN, MSNBC, The View, they're just sitting there talking about the president on a daily basis, but nobody, like, you know, says, hey, you know, I mean, you know, let's approach him. Like, you know, let's talk.
Is something you think that's going to lead to a real discovery with another life form?
Gosh, that's a great question. I sure hope so. You know, it used to be crazy in reputable scientific circles to talk about the possibility of
and we'll be right back
life elsewhere in our solar system.
For the closer.
You know, we look at the Earth, and before we really understood the full range of life on extreme environments on the Earth, we just didn't appreciate how
varmint, you
robust it
Yosemite Sam. Just came to mind, and yes, I think I might elaborate on